All right, click the links, join the channel here over at Subscribe. So I got a mailbox on mail me some comics. Thanks to you, Vegan, for Elsum comic, the JB for the envelope, and Mr. Anonymous for the beautiful leather-bound Bible. So Leslie Jones is an istophobic idiot, shocking. And she's very, very angry about a movie that came out 7 years ago, I think, that unfortunately not too many people saw. I saw it twice because I think I made a video of it. It's one of those weird things, and I know people get the wrong idea when they hear this. It's like it could have been, I won't say it could have been great because it's following up like one of the best comedies in history. It could have been a whole lot better than it was. And Red Letter Media did a deep dive in showing how they rushed every scene. They didn't let any scene develop. Anyway, to set the stage for the 80s Ghostbusters, two movies came out. The second one was solid. Now, it couldn't meet the expectations of the first one, but it was a solid, funny movie. Like, if you had seen it on its own without the first one, you would have thought it was really good. The first one, however, is head and shoulders above everything else. I think it's probably the best comedy of all time. But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you'll say like, well, some Laurel and Hardy stuff, or who is that? Charlie Chaplin type of stuff might have been better because it might have been more innovative for the time. But for like a modern audience who can't watch a silent film in the 80s, if you're over a certain age or under a certain age, I think Ghostbusters, the 84 Ghostbusters Part 1 was probably, I think it had every scene was just perfectly timed, framed, blocked, developed. Everything was as good as you could possibly do for the tech at the time. It's like, you recall those films, Lightning in a Bottle. It's like the Star Wars trilogy, probably especially Empire Strikes Back, fair enough. We're Lightning in a Bottle with the combination of the directors, the producers, the people who were building the sets, the puppet masters, the sound, everyone who was working together. It's like it all came together. Like some guy, Lucas, surrounded himself with the best people possible, and maybe not even the best people, but the best people who could work together and follow the orders to create the best product. And Ghostbusters was the same way. I mean, you had something like with Airplane, the same way. There's a lot of these kind of movies. You look at them and like, yeah, you made one movie, you're not gonna touch it. Where honestly, something like Barbie that I know got over $1 billion. You could easily follow that up because it wasn't that good a movie. It was a movie that relied on very deceptive advertising and the girl power fantasy, like put these feminist chicks in an echo chamber, just tell them kind of everything they hear. And with Barbie, you'd be crazy not to follow that up. Anyway, so Lightning in a Bottle. You had one over-the-top comedic relief in, I almost said Eddie Murphy, but I think it was Bill Murray. And Eddie Murphy, to his credit, was also in a couple of Lightning in a Bottle movies. But Bill Murray, and you had three counterbalance, mostly straight men. And Dan Aykroyd and Murray were at their peak of that time period in the 80s. They were the best out there, and the two other guys were there to help them shine. Everything in that movie was on point. Even the two chicks who were all there to, that's a rough image, all there to support Bill Murray, mostly supporting Bill Murray in his, mostly lead role. But then the globalist, blood-sucking Hollywood decided to be like, oh, so random and stunning and brave, and use three women who were not in the same league as the original four, mostly invisible women who brought no comedic ability to the table. Or, I guess, in their defense, at least it wasn't expressed due to the bad writing. And how did their roles relate to the original roles? Was the fat chick McCarthy? Was she the comedic relief? How? She wasn't funny. Women in general are not funny, and they're never as funny as the main character, only as sidekick characters, where that puts them in their proper place where they can shine and support the other character who is going to be the male character because of biology and years of anthropology, and men have to be funny. Like the funniest chick, I'm not going to name names, but I see on YouTube, and there are legitimately funny chicks. I look at them and go, yeah, Cecil's funnier than this chick. Like there's plenty of guys you personally know, like the funniest female, the top 10 funniest female stand-up comedian. You literally know guys who are, selling insurance are funnier than those chicks. Like if they wanted to go into comedy, they could easily go into comedy, and they would have been funnier than these chicks, just because men are wired differently, because men are seeking women, and women are the ones who get, you know how that works. It's like, so men have to do a lot of these things differently, and that's just our roles. So the fat funny chick, except she's not funny. So the original was one of the over-the-top comedian, Murray, who was trying to get laid with Sigourney Weaver, and balanced out by the two scientists and then the street-level normie guy, but all, guy who was just in it for a paycheck, and who was Ernie Hudson, I think, who was amazing for the role. Everyone in their roles was perfectly hand in glove, and they were all kind of straightish men in terms of comedy balance. Who was that other guy? Rick Morales. He just, I think that's him. He got mugged in New York a couple of years ago. But then the estrogen laden remake, there was the tall, mousy, boring lady who is Kristen Wiig, I think. Was she supposed to be the straight lady in terms of comedic? Then there was the queefing lesbian who was supposed to be too cool for school or something. The thing is, with those cool chick characters or cool dude characters, with the chicks at least, they have to be super smoking hot, or they have to be something sexy about them, and sexy isn't always hot. Like, who is the chick in Fight Club? That kind of, I forget her name. The chick in Fight Club, she had that sexy, weird goth appeal to her. Or even the chick, I hope this isn't the same chick. I want to say like Farisa Balk or something. She was the chick in that Adam Sandler movie where he plays some kind of football player or something. And it was a comedic role, but she played that sexy, hot, gothic chick who was crazy, but she was also hot. And I think she was also in, not Fight Club, American History X with the guy who was in the Hulk. It's like, you really should know these actors' names better. Yeah, but when I say the guy who was in the Hulk and he was in American History X, she was the side chick. They're hot, sexy chicks. They all kind of work because they have something hot and sexy. Look, I queefed. Vagina. Everyone claps and claps. Yeah, vagina. Yeah, well, vagina. Yeah, we get it. Period. So she was just annoying. And then the obese Leslie Jones as the. You really need to lighten up these images. She's in the background somewhere. The obese Leslie Jones as the street level comedian, then the obese McCarthy, who's just rough, just fat and annoying. That's her whole character. So all four. I mean, she's grandma. She's somebody's grandma, or she should be somebody's grandma with her grandkids at home. It's like, no, I'm gonna be strap on a proton pack. You can't even walk up a flight of stairs because you're literally 250 pounds. Fat, annoying. Yeah, that's going to put butts in seats. So all four chicks were not funny and just annoying. Nobody wants to hear women try to be funny for 2 hours. Mission to avoid talking about your vagina failed. So in the remake, you had four unattractive women trying to be funny but failing at it. So why exactly are we watching? They're not funny. They're not cute and sexy. What exactly is the movie trying to do? And keep in mind, as weird as I sound, if you're some soy boy pussy, I represent millions of people. If what a thought that is. If chicks in movies, then I need hot skinny blondes with short skirts and low cut tops, or MILF leggings and fall sweaters. Give me sexy bitches and funny dudes. That is the natural order of the universe. Yes, I'm Hugo Boss for not wanting to see fat, ugly, unfunny people. That's a totally fair assessment. Leslie Jones is a comedian, but nobody's laughing. Well, she was on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, that's like the biggest misunderstood show. And I did a video on that a year ago or something about how people have this image of Saturday Night Live because they saw clips. Yeah, nobody was laughing when she was on Saturday Night Live. I don't know if you've seen it recently. Oh my gosh. Saturday Night Live was rarely funny, even in the best of times, even with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and Gilda Radner. And then you had like Belushi and who was the later, like David Spade and who's that, Chris Farley or something Farley, and I mean they made a movie together, Black Sheep or something. The thing is, like, the difference is all those guys who had potential on Saturday Night Live, and you saw their potential, and you go, okay, if you put them on the big screen, the engine is going to have room to reach Redline, and it never has that room on a 5-minute clip. And it did. Most of the times they put out like successful dumb comedies that put their names on the map. These new Ghostbuster ladies, they didn't have that potential. When you put them on the freeway, it's like it's an 800cc Fiat engine. It's just not going to do anything. They got there as diversity hires because they're women. That's the brutal reality of how the affirmative action works in Hollywood. Hey, McCarthy is fat. Look, she's a great big fat potato. She looks like you took a thing of mayonnaise and you wrapped it in saran wrap. Isn't she funny, just like fat Amy Schumer? No, she's gross. And honestly, I think fat Amy Schumer is had a couple of movies where she was funnier, to her credit. She had that one where she was with Goldie Hawn and they go to South America. And yeah, it's a stupid movie. Don't get me wrong. Stupid, stupid, stupid. But it actually hit some points better than, way better than Ghostbusters. I forget what that movie called. It's stupid, but she had one scene in that movie where they're in South America, and this is friggin' bizarre. And every once in a while I'm surprised by things. They're in South America, and she's in some South American village, and the men are like sitting around drinking beer, and the women are in the fields working, and Amy Schumer's looking at the men. She's like, so they're out in the hot fields, like, doing the farming. And she's looking at the men. It's like, what are you guys doing? She goes, oh, we're protecting the women. It's like, that took balls to put that in the movie. And I was, credit to Amy Schumer for putting that in there. I guess she's more of a feminist than she is some kind of, anti-white globalist. I mean, she's both, but it's like that. You see a scene in the movie like that, you realize, if they made that movie now, they wouldn't put that in there. So credit to her for that. Anyway, so I can't scroll past this because this guy's dropping all kinds of invectives that will get I don't care about the demonetization. It's only $1, but he's dropping N-bombs and all kinds of other stuff. So it's like that might, I don't know, might get the channel in trouble. So Leslie Jones said that nerds were mad about an unfunny vagina remake. Yeah, because it wasn't funny and because it had women. Because women aren't funny. I mean, more people should just get out and say that. Like, yeah. Oh, misogynist says what? Hugo Boss says what? Yeah, but women aren't funny. I mean, yes. I made my statement and you had an ad hominem. But you didn't counter the statement. You didn't rebut the argument because you don't have a rebuttal to women mostly aren't funny. Like if you're playing the role on investing hundreds of millions of dollars in movies and you're saying we're going to put 4 unfunny women in there, it's like, well, biologically women are not funny. Even if you get the 4 best comedians on earth, it's like, well, even if you did have the 4 best female comedians on earth, Kevin Feige is going to find a way to screw it up, which he definitely did. And a lot of it is his fault. It's not their fault. The thing is, women aren't funny in the lead role, and therefore the soy pussies, before they start whining about all this kind of stuff, please show me where in this movie these women are funny, or show me in other movies where these women are funny, or where other leading women are funny in general. And then you go, we're going to put 4 women in a comedic role as the leads. Like, oh, you really have your work cut out for you on that. That is an uphill battle. Anyway, so then when you look at those movies of comedic women in roles who aren't completely screwing them up with my vagina, now ask yourself, wouldn't men be better in those comedic roles? Like, wouldn't you just rather have replaced the women and like get like sexy skinny blonde chicks as a sidekick character and have them do? You know what was funny with chicks that actually worked? Because they were the sexy sidekick character supporting the 2 male leads was Stan Helsing, which was a low-budget comedy with 2 funny chicks because they were supporting characters. And you can find that on, that's actually a very funny low-budget movie. They made that movie for like $6 million, and it's absolutely, and actually had one of the guys from Saturday Night Live went on. And then the other guy went on to be in, I think Waiting Part 2 or something. Anyway, so then Leslie Jones has got some long lecture about Islamophobicism and why do I care exactly about all that? The only hate in America now is anti-white racism, and until I see that given the same concern, I just not going to listen to people like Leslie Jones until no lives can matter until white lives matter. You have to say all this stuff to them with a straight face and see them counter it, because if essentially they're saying like, no, your lives don't matter. We don't care about you. It's like, well, then why would I care about you? I at that point, I want nothing to do with you. If you really are like the most racist people on earth, you just hate people from being of European origin. Why would I concern about? Where's the argument where I would be concerned about your concerns if you're the problem? The Leslie Jones type of BLM type of people, they're the problem the whole time, and they refuse to see that. It's like that's part of their weird Achilles heel of not being able to see that they're the problem. Anyway, the thing is, I can't even watch them in movies anymore because I have purse puppy PSD, which means I don't watch movies, which is fine with me. Why would I want to be lectured to by people like Jones who don't realize that they're the problem the whole time? Every day, Jones meets hateful, bigoted people. Yeah, that's her. She was the hateful, bigoted person all the time. Those are all those issues. Like, yeah, those are all you projecting issues on other people. And at some point, you got to look at this and go like, okay, then why keep trying to market to people that you hate? Like, just market to, if you're trying to market to a black audience, market to a black audience, because you're going to have a rough time selling to The other, like half the country is of European origin, and then the rest of the country is mostly Latin American origin. And then you got the 13% black origin. So if she really hates, she's not selling to the Latin American or the Asian audience, potential audience, and she openly hates the European audience. So her remaining audience is the black audience, and she's not marketing to them. So all she's doing is pushing people away without bringing people in. You're like, so how are the movies doing with your hate campaign, your racist hate campaign? Not too well. Not too well. Hey, best of luck to you. Double down. Double down. Hey, the bad news is the Hollywood writers' strike, I guess, is they're meeting. I think the people who are striking, writers and actors, are understanding that they're going to have to probably settle some ground, because the producers, the Hollywood itself, could just wait them out for years until everyone has to go get different jobs, and then they just hire new people. Which absolutely, please keep striking. Please keep striking. It's obviously I don't watch anything. It's not going to affect me anyway. If you want me to go see a movie, you can cash app me the movie, and I will go see it and do a review on it. But otherwise, I can't pay for Hollywood myself. It would be like supporting Satan. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, check me out, subscribe. So thanks to everyone over there who sent me the comic books from Veg and a bunch of other people. The beanies, the pocket knives, and the envelopes. Those are very nice. And the anonymous leather Bible. That is it's the nicest Bible I have. That is for sure. And I'll see you guys all next episode.